For most of modern history, India was never the loud guy in the room. After independence, the country was broke, hungry, divided, and constantly underestimated. The world saw India as spiritual, poor, chaotic. Good for yoga retreats, not for power politics. And honestly, that image wasn't totally wrong back then. India had ambition, but zero muscle to back it up. While superpowers were flexing nuclear missiles and space programs, India was busy figuring out how to feed its people and keep the lights on. And that's where everyone made their first mistake. Because India didn't chase power the way others did. It prepared for it, slowly, quietly, patiently, like someone lifting weights in a dark gym while everyone else is busy showing off on Instagram. In the 90s, India cracked open its economy. Not with fireworks, not with revolutions. Just reforms. Markets opened. Private players entered. Competition started breathing down the neck of laziness. And suddenly, something dangerous happened. India started producing engineers, coders, doctors, analysts. Not dozens, not thousands, millions. While the West was busy arguing about outsourcing, India was building an invisible army of brains. Silicon Valley noticed first. Then Wall Street. Then every major global company that needed smart people willing to grind. India didn't export oil. It exported intelligence. And intelligence compounds. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. Most countries, once they get economic momentum, immediately start shouting about it. India didn't. Instead, it went silent. No one noticed the highways quietly replacing dirt roads. No one noticed digital payments reaching villages faster than some countries reached cities. No one noticed that 1 billion people were being plugged into a single digital identity system. It didn't trend on Twitter, but it was revolutionary. Because once you digitize governance at scale, corruption leaks out, efficiency leaks in, and speed becomes addictive. India stopped moving like a slow democracy and started moving like a startup that finally found product-market fit. Then came defense. This is where outsiders really messed up their judgment. They assumed India would always be dependent, import weapons, beg allies, stay strategic but soft. Wrong. India started indigenizing defense. Not loudly, not arrogantly, just methodically. Missiles, aircraft, drones, naval power, cyber warfare. No dramatic parades, no unnecessary threats. Just capability stacking. And here's the key difference. India didn't build weapons to intimidate the world. It built them to make sure no one could intimidate India again. That's a mindset shift. That's adulthood. Meanwhile, geopolitically, India played the most dangerous game of all. Balance. It refused to become anyone's puppet. Not the West, not the East, not any bloc. While other nations picked sides and locked themselves into dependencies, India kept its options open. Friends with rivals. Partners with competitors. Neutral when neutrality gave leverage. This confused everyone. Because the world likes predictable countries. Easy to pressure, easy to control. India chose unpredictability, backed by growing strength. That's not arrogance. That's strategy. Then space happened. Not the flashy billionaire kind, the quiet, precise, we did this on a shoestring budget kind. Satellites launched for other countries. Complex missions executed without drama. Precision over publicity. India didn't try to prove it could reach space. It proved it could operate there. And operation beats exhibition every single time. Here's the part people still don't fully understand. India's real power isn't its army. It's not even its economy. It's scale plus patience. A young population that hasn't peaked. A market too large to ignore. A democracy messy enough to adapt. A culture trained for long games, not quick wins. While aging superpowers argue about sustaining dominance, India is still climbing its first serious slope. That asymmetry is lethal. Let's be brutally honest though, India isn't perfect. Infrastructure gaps exist. Bureaucracy still sucks. Inequality is real. Political noise is loud. But here's the uncomfortable truth. No rising superpower in history was clean. Every dominant nation was chaotic, unfair, aggressive, and imperfect during ascent. The difference is whether momentum exists. India has momentum, and momentum doesn't ask for permission. Look at global supply chains right now. Companies are quietly diversifying away from single-country dependence. Guess who keeps showing up as the alternative? Look at global diplomacy forums. Guess whose voice suddenly carries weight without shouting? Look at technology, manufacturing, defense, space, energy. India isn't leading everything. It doesn't need to. It's positioning itself so that nothing major can happen without it being involved. That's real power. Not dominance, relevance at scale. By the time the world fully agrees, the transformation will already be complete. And that's the scariest kind of rise, the one you notice after it's already happened.